4 Sergeant King.
Just advise the talk. We got about approximately 40 people on the 32nd floor. Appear to be victims. We're going to be sending them down the stairwell when everybody's ready.
10-4, that's 40 people on the 32nd floor. What else came over 2 by 2 at the end?
Alright, so just be advised. It's going to be the stairwell one. It's going to be 40 people.
All right, I've got the audio that's playing is live NYPD broadcasting of an active shooter that is actively taking place in Manhattan now, being described as potentially a Middle Eastern male. This individual seen walking into the building at 345 Park Ave with what appears to be an assault rifle. SWAT teams have moved into the building, and so we're just listening to the radio comms. Looks like at least 6 people have been shot. Okay. As we wait to hear more radio transmissions, as we wait to hear more, just to catch you up to speed a little bit, we've got, again, at 345 Park Ave, apparently this individual walking into the Blackstone building. I believe Deutsche Bank is also there.
34 Sergeant.
Alright, just advise the talk that we're going to be moving with the 40 victims, 40 persons. We're going to be going down the...
Stairway yellow?
Yeah, 10-4. We're here with the issue, and I also have my personnel with me. Just advise all the units in the stairwell that we're going to be coming down.
All right, so in other words, it looks like the upper buildings are being or the upper floors are currently being sort of evacuated. It is believed that this suspect is presently on the 25th floor and barricaded.
Conditions at this time, they can't get in.
Let's see here. Let's pop in here.
Guys, you know how this works. You know, they get in the building and try to make sure they don't know what they're walking into at this point. So that's why they're trying to sweep the area before they can get an update on these people.
Central. Yeah, just be advised, the issue, SRG and CRC are still clearing the floors in the building. As we get witnesses of personnel, civilians, we're sending them out 53rd Street.
10-4.
All right, so in other words, the special response team, SRT, is clearing floor by floor to clear this suspect out. Currently, they believe this is somebody who is on the 25th floor and barricaded. An individual, again, described as a Middle Eastern male, has taken obviously a rifle here. It looks like, it's hard to tell right here, it looks like maybe it's a suppressed rifle, it's unclear. But apparently multiple people injured. Also, the extent of those injuries unclear at the moment. This all just breaking within the last 20, 30-ish minutes here. This individual, New York City afternoon, it's about, in the 7 o'clock hour here, walking into the Blackstone building. There were some rumors that potentially this person, and it's yet to be confirmed, but potentially they were shouting Free Palestine, although that's yet to be confirmed. We got to be careful because sometimes people say things on the internet, and it's not true. Again, this is at 345 Park Ave. You find the, let's see here. Let's make sure. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so we're also listening, and we'll keep sort of turning on and off the feed, the live radio feed of what's going on for NYPD, so we can listen to that as well and get updates. But it appears he's barricaded on the 25th floor, and there are multiple other videos that we could see of the response just on X. This is some of the initial emergency response. You could see here tactical units, or at least officers with tactical gear, moving right into the building. Typically with an active shooter situation, especially after what we saw in Texas, the goal of an active shooter response is to move into the building as soon as possible with as many or as few people as possible, just to put up some form of confrontation against the threat. Apparently, at least 2 are hit, and an officer may be in critical condition.
Give me 1K, SRG4 Sergeant. You say you're splitting up the group, 20 going down to Eddie and 20 going down the chute?
10 floor, 32 floor, elevator Eddie. Go down the chute.
10-4.
Here's some more units.
Do you have any available squad personnel who come to the lobby entrance 5-1 between Lex and Park? We got multiple people coming down from the boys.
This is 5-1, right here, 51st Street.
Available response to 5-1 in Park. Multiple coming down at this time.
This is 5-1 in Park. So in other words, we're going to have people, you know, escaping from the building, coming out of the lobby. So this whole area in a live shot will be very secured. But 51 in Park, this is where it's happening. Again, the 345 building. I'll fade in Fox for a moment.
Off-duty or retired armed New York City cops. That will come in tremendously.
RTF team wants to talk.
CT Chief to Central.
CCG 15.
Yeah, we're going to have about 30 people exiting out onto 53rd Street.
10-4. SRG4 Sergeant.
Be advised, everybody is downstairs in the lobby, safe and sound.
10-4.
Okay, so the lobby is now safe.
RTF to Central.
As you can hear here from the radio communications. Lobby now safe. Let's see, it looks like a witness on the first floor said it sounded like a barrage of shots, like an automatic weapon, like a high-capacity weapon. The injured officer was working in the building in a paid detail. So in other words, this individual likely ran into the building and opened fire on a paid officer stationed inside the lobby. Now keep in mind, private companies can hire the police department to essentially, you know, pay an officer's hourly rate plus some profit for the police department to perform any kind of security detail. This is something that can be done, and that's generally what we think of when we hear of a detail.
Yeah, 1 to 5 will be Chow. You need me up there?
Rendezvous with Lieutenant Lewis on the roof.
Okay, so New York Post is claiming that the individual has turned the gun on himself and critically injured 3, one of them an officer. However, other 911 calls from inside of the building are reporting that the building is still not secure. So it's unclear exactly what's going on inside the building at the moment.
Sergeant on air.
Yeah, I see Sergeant coming to the roof on air. Lewis, it's me now. Yeah, we come up. Come to 43, and then take stairway well up. 4 red.
Yeah, sounds like they're still working on clearing that building. Now again, 345 Park is that Blackstone building, so definitely a sort of a signal against American capitalism. Let's take a look at this. Here's the building. Here's Park and 51st. This is the angle that we've been looking at. So some of the views we've seen of this courtyard are kind of along this angle right here. So we've got Park Ave, 51st. Here's that square where we had some pretty clear surveillance footage. We've heard radio comms about officers on the roof. We've heard radio comms about officers in the lobby. At this point, it seems that the lobby, stairwells, the roof are secured. There are rumors that this person is dead on the 33rd or the 25th floor. It's unclear. It's going to take a while for officers to clear every single floor of this building. That's actually interesting. You could actually see on Google Maps now. Look at this, updated 8 minutes ago. Midtown East shooting. Wow, that's actually quite convenient to see that on the map.
CCD procedure.
Just be advised, let them know we're on 5-1 elective needed.
5-1 elective.
10-4. Done.
So the top, if we just count here, roughly, we might miss a floor or two here, but to get 25 to 33 stories up, 1, 2, 3-ish, 4, 5, 6, call that 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13 would be 14, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 would be here, so about 2/3 of the way up. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. 33 would be up here, so relatively towards the top. It makes me wonder if he was targeting something specific on those floors. Let's see. And then here's Lexington, in case you're wondering. Okay, let's get the address for Blackstone and see if they show it. Yeah, here on 345 Park, but they don't give a it just shows as floor 1. But let's go to Blackstone. It makes you wonder if this was targeted. I don't know that they give any more of an address here, though. Our offices, contact us. No, they don't. New York. Here we go. What do we have? 345 Park. No, they don't give a floor number here. And then another thing we saw was we have Deutsche Bank on Park Ave. It doesn't actually show listed on Google, though. So I wonder if this was just directly targeted at Blackstone then. Let's get that radio back up.
SRG3 Adam, UAV.
So again, this building is flanked by Lexington, Park Ave, 51st, and 52nd. It's 345 Park Ave, an active shooter with now reports of 6 people shot, running into the, walking into the Blackstone building, apparently shooting an officer in the lobby.
Looks like he's about late 30s, early 40s. He's wearing dark sunglasses. He's got black curly hair. He looks to be like he's dressed like a hip guy, and he's wearing a blazer, a collared shirt that's either white or light blue, jeans and sneakers. And he is carrying what has been told to us is an AR-15, carrying it like this. Now I don't know if you can see. And now an AR-15 would go from right here on me up to about here. In broad daylight, walking down Park Avenue and going through an esplanade that is normally a very busy area at that time of night because people are on their way home from work. And you're in Midtown, lots of financial industries here along Park Avenue. Walking
I came
and
down one
walking
flight.
with
What
purpose.
what stairway you went through?
We're about Zebra.
So I'm on my way.
They're talking about the different stairways they're clearing.
You know, walking with an AR-15 down Park Avenue, you know, you wonder if he got out of a car right there or how far he was walking. It was a big, wide open area, and there's nobody else around him. And you can see from that security photo, it's just him. And it does look like an AR-15 rifle. And when I was taking videos, I talked to one eyewitness that said that he spoke to a woman that was sitting right there. She saw somebody walk in with an AR-15, and she heard automatic fire. And that's what she told this gentleman who told me.
Okay, now the building that we're talking about, again, is right around the block from where we are. 2 of the primary businesses that are in that building, the NFL, which it was reported that they told their employees to shelter in place when all of this was happening.
And the NFL.
A financial company.
All right, let's bring in Jonathan Gilliam, former FBI.
Unit check your portable. I'm just trying to... Units, open carrier.
Sergeant Burgos, SRG on.
Sergeant Burgos, go ahead.
Hey, give me a call on my phone.
10-4.
So again, we're listening, we're looking at a vehicle being inspected. The bomb squad was called out as well. This is possibly what the individual drove up in to gain rapid access to the building at 345 Park Place. The individual is, some were claiming to be dead or barricaded somewhere between the 25th and 33rd floor.
Hereby, authority of U2 safe building being cleared from the roof to 30 seconds down to the lobby. Teams are setting up, clearing every area of the building, looking for civilians. We advise those civilians are to stay in place till teams arrive. Just came over SOD.
There's talk that on the 33rd floor, there is a Rudin Property Management.
Shooting in New York City. According to NYPD, the scene has now been contained. The lone shooter has been neutralized. Jesse Waters and the gang there take it from here. See you tomorrow night.
They're now saying the shooter was neutralized on Fox? I haven't heard that so far, given that they're still clearing, but it's possible.
Fox News alert, we're monitoring an active shooter situation in Midtown Manhattan. After a gunman went inside of a 44-story office building and opened fire around 6:30 p.m. local time. We're told the rounds first went off in the lobby before the shooter got up to at least one other floor. At least 6 were reportedly shot, and sources tell Fox that includes 2 officers, 1 reportedly dead.
2 now.
Sources also say the gunman shot himself on the 33rd floor. Currently, officers are sweeping the building to see if there's a second shooter. Fox correspondent
SRGCO Central.
SRGCO.
Central, I got about 60 civilians here in the lobby of 345 Park Avenue. I need detective or personnel to respond here so they can talk to them and then we can cut them and send them on their way.
10-4, can I have a detective respond to 345 and Park?
Rudin Property Management's website is not loading right now. So I'm trying to load. Oh, there we go. Rudin Property Management. They have an address on what appears to be, or within 345 Park, although I don't know if this was just a listing or where their office is or what.
To 345 and Park. Coming from Lex on 51 and Park.
Here you can see the from this camera on Fox what appears to be the investigation of some form of weapons bag here.
We know from working in Midtown, Jesse, you know, it's big buildings, there's lots of security usually. Like other buildings, you have to card to even get in to the elevators. In this 44-store building, the guy was able to go right up, but they had Blackstone, NFL headquarters, and more. People that are in there right now, also civilians, were wounded. So they're trying to see how many people are wounded, how bad these injuries are. I was told by an NYPD officer who just got to the scene that they did take 3 civilians to the hospital, and they're not sure if they're going to make it. So there's still a developing scene. That's why they haven't briefed yet, because this is also active. But people, you got to remember, people moved to New York City for these big jobs and these big skyscrapers, and their parents are watching from home right now, you know, hoping that their kids control and relay that information, because people want it and they want it now.
All right, so this looks very targeted. He goes in very well prepared, vest, takes out security immediately, and goes right up to a certain floor. We're seeing...
SRGCO, the squad is here. Thank you, Central.
Can you describe what he looks like and the type of rifle?
So I've seen a bunch of different photos that are floating around. The NYPD said that the man is from out of state is all that they would say right now, and was heavily armed, but that's all that they would say. So sometimes it seems like, as we know from covering all this breaking news, like the social media figures it out quicker than the cops can at the scene, because they're trying to basically make sure everybody's okay. So they won't say too much about who the gunman is or describe him or anything like that, but they said that he took himself out, turned that gun on himself inside, but he went first to the lobby, shoots, at least 2 people, including that police officer who died. Then he moves up, stops at least 2 other floors and opens fire. So, I don't know which floors he stopped on. We don't know what businesses were up there, but it brings questions of security for people who work in Midtown too and work in that building. Like, how did this guy get in? If it was targeted, did he know the layout? Did he have a key card? Who is he? So hopefully they'll be able to lay that out. They've got the NYPD out there who's going to do a briefing, but a lot of the NYPD also went to a nearby hospital where this poor officer died. They said he was just trying to get in extra hours, make some extra money, and work security at this building.
Yeah, we're looking at some of the tenants in this building, Alexis. You have everything, as you mentioned, Blackstone, financial services, a bunch of banks, Deutsche Bank, Enterprise, some accounting firms. Obviously, the NFL is the most recognizable company in this building. We don't know, obviously, the motivation of the gunman, but obviously he knew what he was going in there to do. There's no doubt about it. And it was a suicide mission. We're sure that he's committed suicide, and right now you're calling it an active scene. By active, what do you mean by that?
They're saying active as they basically have to sweep the whole building to figure out, is there a seventh shooter? Like, they don't know, who was all involved.
Probably
they
not.
went back and looked through security cameras.
All right. Let's catch everyone up if you're just now joining and getting started with this. Okay, so let's do it. Another devastating day in America as what is being described as potentially a Middle Eastern man walking into the Blackstone building, abandoning his vehicle outside, which has been taken apart by the bomb squad and is now being piece by piece searched by NYPD. Apparently abandoned his vehicle on the street, walked in to the lobby of 345 Park Place. That is between Lexington and Park, and between 51st and 52nd. This is the building. It is a 44-story building. Apparently, the camera shot shows him casually walking in to the lobby here, where allegedly he shot an officer in the lobby as he walked in, who was posted on a detail. Remember, a detail is a paid position that an officer could take, usually when they're done with their regular hours, to pick up basically an extra shift doing security, or at least having a presence at another facility. Not necessarily doing security, but having a presence in the event something happens. There is talk that one of the officers that was shot has died. One other officer has been shot, as well as potentially as many as 4 more people. It's unclear how many more people have been shot, as the building is just getting cleared by NYPD. We've been listening to the radio comms and listening to the special response teams clear not only the lobby and secure the lobby to remove civilians out of the building, after, of course, identifying them and interviewing them to make sure they're not letting, like, second shooters out, right? Very common. You don't want a second shooter escaping, potentially, so usually they document, who's leaving. But then they're not just clearing from the bottom, they're also clearing from the rooftop. So they are coming down, clearing the building floor by floor. It is believed that the individual is dead, that he may have shot himself once he arrived to either the 25th or 33rd floor. So 25th or 33rd floor. Again, this is a building that is a headquarters for Blackstone, private equity firm in the United States. This is obviously a massive, massive investment company. I mean, we're talking trillions of dollars. Here, $1.2 trillion under management. And this is their building here. You do also have other offices here, potentially this Rudin Property Management. They have their address listed at 345 Park. Their website is loading very, very slowly. You've got Deutsche Bank, you've got NFL offices in this building, accounting firms inside of this building. It's unclear what the motive for this situation is, but what we do know is that chaos has essentially struck Manhattan, and it's disgusting to think that, you know, as Americans, again, we have to live in fear for this kind of stuff, and especially in a place that is so secure like New York. This occurred relatively close to the 7 o'clock hour, and you can see here special response teams. Once this actually loads, there we go. Special response teams on the right moving in. It's unclear if these are just uniformed officers who grabbed their rifle and a helmet and ran in. Usually in an active shooter scenario, you want to, as quickly as possible, have officers respond even before getting a full SWAT team in place, just for the sake of time. You don't want to repeat what we've seen in places like Texas, where unfortunately you have seen time end up leading to more deaths at school shootings. That's not what you want to see. So generally an active response for an active shooter is responding as soon as possible and getting shots on a gunman. The New York Post is reporting potentially that 3 have been critically injured, though the latest reports seem to be that 6 were injured and that 1 has died. And again, the individual has potentially taken their own life. Now, there are questions around why were other people outside of the building arrested? Like, here's a Free Palestine guy who was arrested outside of the building around the same time. Here's potentially another activist or somebody else shouting Free Palestine who apparently had a cut on her head who was also arrested. Usually at a time like this, officers are not entirely clear of exactly what's going on. Radio communications can be very overwhelmed, and it's not uncommon for one person shouting and protesting, especially with blood on their forehead, to turn into, you know, like here's a video of the lady getting rushed out of that active shooter scene. Not uncommon to get people out, like just arrest people, get people out of there, and you know, figure out what's going on after the fact. That is not uncommon at all. Now, some people starting to speculate, like, what could the motivation be here? Was this a slam on private equity? Is this a slam on capitalism? Is this, you know, some kind of setup to make New Yorkers fearful that they need to make sure that they don't elect a defund the police style mayor like a Mamdani? Now that would be obviously a little bit more extreme, implying that potentially this was politically motivated to prop up the opposition to Mamdani. Who knows? You know, if they're anti-capitalistic, it would almost seem like it would be a pro-Mamdani style thing, who basically he is a self-professed, what he calls democratic socialist, and he says that capitalism is actually evil. So it's unknown. We don't seem to have any kind of manifesto or any kind of motive at this point, although I'm sure more data will come out in time. But this is quite a nerve-wracking situation for Manhattan. Again, that's 345 Park Ave, and we can see here on the live blog from the Wall Street Journal that the shooter, reportedly, the New York Police Commissioner says that after 90, so we're just now at the end of this, that the shooter, we're just now getting confirmation within the last 10 minutes here that the shooter has been neutralized after about 90 minutes. It looks like the first shots took place at about 6:30 p.m. and the shooter, the police can confirm now, has been neutralized. This is... look at this. Blackstone employees shared messages over email and Microsoft Teams that there was a shooter in the lobby and warned each other not to go downstairs. Employees shared that they were hiding and locking themselves in offices. Good Lord. I mean, this is just a sort of, unfortunately, another terrible situation in America, and this gives us a breakdown of what just happened. It's scary. I hope everybody stays safe out there. And if you're ever nervous about your safety, always remember, you can get life insurance in as little as 5 minutes by going to metkevin.com/life. It's a paid partner of the channel. That said, let's hope we get answers as to what just occurred, and let's also pray that there are no other shooters, because that's the last thing we want. We don't need terrorism anywhere in the world, but no terrorism is acceptable. Thanks for watching this breakdown. Stay safe out there.